Welcome to the inaugural episode of Slack Men. What we're doing today is we're bringing you the very first episode. This is going to be preserved, so keep this, record it, stick it on a wall. This is going to be worth money in years to come. Oh, yes. And what we're doing basically is we've got myself, Gerry K, my good friend and comedian Ryan McDonnell.
Thanks very much. Hello.
And the very famous Michael McClean.
Thank you very much indeed.
Hi, boys. And what we're Slack Men. And what we do, we call ourselves Slack Men as a sort of homage to the loose women ladies, right, who we love and respect, I think it's fair to say.
Who are very loose.
Yeah, and are women, apparently. And,
You've gone through them one at a time.
I have
They've all flattened a bit of grass.
Well,
have you been through them one at a time?
Who are they again?
One at a time, have you?
No, not one at a time. I did them all together. I did them all together. So it was like a Tesco's. They all got a ticket and had a little go.
No, we love them. And so what the idea is, we're sort of looking at the topics they're covering over the week. And at the end of said week, we're going to have a look at some of those, as well as talking about things that have moved us as well. So that's really what it's all about. And yeah, today is episode 1. So we need music or something, don't we?
Music sort of there.
Right, let's talk about something that the girls had discussed, and this is something in holiday season. I think it's going to become more of an issue, and it's drunk people on flights.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough.
Right, okay, Mike, yeah.
Why wouldn't there be drunk people on flights? Do you get locked in somewhere for 8 hours with free booze?
Yeah.
Obviously there's going to be drunk people on
flights.
flights.
And the drinking starts, I don't know about you, but when my mates go on holiday, we get the earliest flight possible, so we get about like 5:30 in the morning. And it starts there, because the bars are open at the airport.
That's the only time whenever it's socially acceptable to have a pint.
Two things you'll see at the airport when people go on holiday: the people that are pissed and people wearing brand new trainers.
The funny thing is, and honestly, you don't know this, people listening certainly won't know, the trainers I've got on here, these Nikes I've got on, I actually bought them at Gatwick.
I swear, that's my case.
Wasn't even flying anywhere. Get some trainers.
Yeah, I just wanted some duty-free trainers.
Just bought them off the back of a car. It's just a guy in the car park.
Jerry, where are you going? I'm going shopping. Where are you going? Gatwick.
But what I don't understand is, you're talking about people getting pissed on flights. A lot of people are frightened of flying. It's an uncomfortable thing. As a non-drinker, I can't think of anything worse than being pissed on a flight, personally.
As a non-sobriety, I can think of nothing.
As a copious piss.
Yeah, but like you're sitting in one seat without moving. You've got free booze and you've got a TV of your own. I mean, that's all I want to do is just sit and watch films and get pissed.
Hang on a minute, free booze and a TV. What are you? You're not flying EasyJet.
Yeah,
you're not flying EasyJet with the rest of us, are you? Well, one thing that is. I've often thought about that is the Mile High Club. I've never done it myself, but I've always wanted to. I'm sure.
It's a bit of a shit name, though, isn't it?
Well, it's not that Mile High. Yeah, what else are you going to call it? The
Shagging Club?
Shagging in the Air Club, you know.
Yeah. Snakes on the plane takes on a whole different meaning.
The thing is, for me, what I've always thought is those toilets are tiny, aren't they? They're really fucking... It's as much as you can do to get your own body in there. I'm not a big man, but it's as much as I can do to get my body in there. How on earth can you get 2 people shagging in those toilets?
Especially some of the birds that Gerry has shagged.
Well, Gary's some of us. I think, as you said before, you'd be lucky to get one of them in.
I think I've had sex inside one of the women that Gerry has.
For the record, Gerry has got a penchant for sleeping with larger ladies. He's a good friend of ours. We might even invite him in one day.
No, you can't.
But he's a penchant for sleeping with larger. And by the way, nothing wrong with larger ladies. I just want to say that. But he just has made a habit of it, and indeed a hobby of it.
But I'll be honest with you, right? I've been on a flight with my missus, and there's never been one point when I've gone to her, do you go to the toilet for a shag? Because one, she'd go, do you mind I'm asleep?
Yeah.
Right?
It's never stopped you before, though.
No, I know. But there's no way. She would never, ever in a
it's got to be a certain
slag
pedigree. Well,
you can't take dogs on planes, right?
It's got to be a certain kind of slut.
So that was
you're
going to say there is a certain pedigree of lady. You don't even get the word out before you jump in with slut.
It's got to be seriously.
It's not. I don't think it's so much their pedigree. I think it's their fucking size. How small has a girl got to be to get in the toilet with you anyway?
I did give it a go once.
Did you?
Yeah, but we didn't. It didn't manage to get done at all because Well, people are constantly going up and down, and the toilets are also right by where they hang out.
Yeah,
as well.
exactly.
So basically, we were trying to pretend that she was sick, and then she went into the toilet first of all, and I was going, oh, can I have a bottle of water to bring into her? And she went, yeah, it's okay, and then she handed it in through her and everything, so it all just got a bit awkward, then just sat down and had a wank.
What? Oh, yeah, that's... Yeah.
But you're quite slim, do you know what I mean? And you like a slim lady. I think, I've come to this conclusion. You know when planes go down in the air, they like basically explode. And they say, oh, there's been a bomb or whatever. I think it's two skinny people shagging in the toilet. That's what I think it is. I think what they've done, they've rubbed together, and the friction has basically caused the fucking combustion. Do you know what I mean? That's what it is. Nothing to do.
Have you noticed there's no sign that says if you get caught smoking in the toilet, it's a fine? But there's no sign there that says if you've been
That's a
caught
very valid point.
shagging, there's a fine. So there's nothing to say that you actually can't go in there.
They're encouraging it.
Do you have to have signs for everything that you can't do, though?
Yeah, that's a good
No
point.
fisting small animals.
That would help.
Stop touching kids.
That would help, Ryan.
Oh,
Yes.
you've dragged it down now.
Dragged it down.
Some of those trolley dollies, particularly, are right up for a laugh, aren't they?
Some of those trolley dollies would be right up for a laugh. Whenever we decided to pay homage to the loose women, do you reckon that homage was meant to be deliberately through blatant misogyny?
Shall we move on to another one of the loose women's topics? So when you visit someone's house, and the first thing they ask you to do is take your shoes off. Because the thing is, I don't know about you guys, my shoes are I spend quite a lot of money on my shoes, whatever, but I spend no money whatsoever on my socks. Do you know what I mean? So it's getting to the point now. When I go and buy a pair of shoes, I think, well, it's not worth spending money on them. But hey, I want to get myself some Lyland Scott socks. You know what I mean? This is where the money. It's where the money's going.
Socks just seem to I don't ever remember buying socks. They just always seem to appear. I always berate anyone who buys me socks, but then after a while they just disappear one by one, and eventually you start thinking, why somebody buy me some fucking socks?
I hate.
Well, I've got to the point of wanting people to buy me socks because we're all married, right? And it's this whole thing. I know it's a cliche, but it's true. You've got, say, 10 pairs of socks, and then within a few weeks. Right, in a few weeks, you've no longer got 10 pairs of socks. You've got about 3 pairs of socks and a load of random individual socks. That happens. That always happens. And
do you know what you do? Just buy one type of sock, one colour. That problem disappears.
Very good
sure,
idea.
yeah, that's a
very
good point.
idea.
Yeah, nobody's ever thought of that before.
You're not just a pretty face.
I'm telling you, mate.
Maybe invent that. Invent one kind of sock.
Don't invent it.
That's
That's
it.
sort of,
Oh, mind you,
I'm
we've
going
done
to
it.
call them black socks.
I'm going to invent some called blue.
If Duncan Ballantyne's listening,
You're a cock.
yes, I'm out. Okay. Right. Okay. One thing the girls were talking about on the 10th of March actually was, and especially things that wind us up. Now, this is a topic obviously that anyone and everyone can talk about because everyone is wound up by certain things. And I'll kick it off with one of the things the girls mentioned that resonated with me, and it was people who leave the silver foil half on things. You know, like Marge or chocolate.
Yeah.
They've got the silver foil on the top, and I never know whether to take it all off or is it meant? I don't know. What's the deal with that?
That's only there to keep it fresh before you buy it. That's what the lid's for.
Yeah.
Once you open it, that comes off altogether, and then out it goes.
I'm with Ryan on that. Totally. Take it off. Take it off.
Oh, you taught me something there because I tend to.
It's like when you put a condom on.
It comes all the way off.
all the way off, mate.
Don't just leave it.
I leave it on there. I leave it on there for
Poking holes in it, trying to piss through it.
Don't just take it off, mate.
That's what I've been going. I've been leaving it on there until all the Marge is gone.
What a condom.
Let's ask you guys. What are your pet hates? What do you got? Things that really wind you up.
Kids being off school absolutely winds me up because then you've got to literally look after them and entertain them, and that's the hardest part. It's really hard work.
Yeah, it's
and then the teachers get a little holiday. I don't get a holiday after I've entertained my kids.
Yeah, Mike's going for Dad of the Year again this year.
You don't get a holiday. You're a comedian. You work 20 minutes a night, about 3 times a week.
Yeah, and I'm tired.
He's lucky. Who are you, Michael McIntyre?
You'll do it.
Ryan, you've got no children, and when you have children, trust me, when that sperm count's as high as it can be, it's not
when
low.
you realise your potential, Ryan.
What annoys you?
Me, crumbs left on the butter annoys me.
Does it?
It's, yeah,
really?
really annoys
that
me.
much out of everything that you could have
Of
covered.
all the things in the world, crumbs left on the really pisses me off.
Can't say it's. I mean, it's a bit of an annoyance. I can't say it's that.
Does it bother you?
No, not that much. Like,
I don't use bus, I use
I
mine.
get annoyed. I think it's very easy. Like one thing that really drives me crazy is people who leave stuff to the last minute. Like
Yes.
If you know that you're in a queue for a shop, or if you're going on a train and you're in a queue to go through the barrier, and then you wait until you get to the fucking barrier before you look in your handbag to see where your ticket is, you should be allowed to punch people in the back of the head.
Yeah, totally.
Just knee them in the back.
I think you're right, actually, and that's a serious point, because you think about rush hour, right? And you think about every instance of that happening. It's a bit like people at traffic lights. Again, when you're at traffic lights, be prepared to anything like that. Be prepared, because it has a knock-on effect, doesn't it? It definitely has a knock-on effect. See all that happened? Was at London Bridge recently? They were jumping the barriers. It was like fucking chaos. That was all down to some woman at the front with a handbag trying to get a ticket out.
Yep.
See, I'd never understand that, why they call it rush hour when the traffic's at slowest moving.
It's a crawl hour.
It's crushing anywhere. Nobody's rushing. Why does he call it rush hour? So people who give names to things like that and call it rush hour when actually it's not.
I think what has happened there is that was one that has come across from Russia.
Like that.
Russian hour.
Russian hour.
Like that, like you've done there, right?
Now that is right, yes, totally agree with that one.
It's,
Well, maybe introduce it before you point to stuff.
Just so you know, Michael has just pointed at the next topic we're going to cover. So,
should we do the Clarkson film?
I don't know, Jeremy Clarkson punched somebody. Is that discussion worthy? I don't know.
Yes, here we go. Here's the discussion. Jeremy Clarkson's a cunt. What's the next topic?
And that was done. That was comprehensively done, I think.
I can't believe the amount of publicity that has got.
No. See, aside from anything else, right? Everybody's saying, oh, it's been blown out of proportion, oh, he's this and he's that, he's been made a scapegoat. No matter what job you do, if you go into... Because he called his what, like,
Juicer.
a lazy paddy cunt.
Did he?
That was what he said before even hitting him.
You're his producer.
I'm his producer. And in fairness, I hadn't done an awful lot. He made a very valid point. I thought the punch was overboard.
Right, so just moving on. 12th of March, the ladies covered... This is very interesting. A woman claimed part of her husband's fortune years after they'd divorced and long before he'd made said fortune.
That's cheeky, isn't it?
Isn't it?
See, now, having... now, sort of going through a divorce myself...
Of course you are, Mark.
Yeah, I think it's completely... You've worked really hard and they're entitled to half of it. But then I got told by a solicitor that once you make the deal, the said deal...
Is this marriage you're talking about?
This is why he's getting divorced.
This is why I'm getting divorced. I plugged that deal up. But you sign a document that says that she can no longer... That's it, that's the deal, that's what you're going to get, that's it, no more.
Yeah, because what this guy did, apparently he's invented... I don't know what he's done, but he invented something... He's made...
Single socks?
That's it. Black. Made a fortune out of it, but no, I think I don't know. Could anyone disagree with that? See, I think this is one of those things, a bit like euthanasia.
At the end of the day, he's got 2 children, and if you what did he say? What?
This is one of those
I'll
things
wipe your screen off.
like euthanasia, where everyone is of the same mind. Jerry,
sorry, should I explain myself?
Please do.
What I'm saying is, everyone I've spoken to ever agrees with euthanasia. Everyone feels that, if you're old, infirm, knackered, whatever, you should have the right to say, I've had enough now. I'm in a lot of pain.
Everyone
please.
you've ever spoken to.
Literally everyone.
Obviously never spoken to any Christians that...
I've spoken to a lot of Christians.
And they're always up
all
for
of them,
it?
they're all up for it.
No, I doubt it, mate.
No, honestly.
You haven't spoken to
everyone.
Northern Ireland Christians then? Because
Really?
they
No,
don't even
no.
like playing football on Sundays.
They what?
They don't even like playing football on Sundays.
But no, I'm serious. All right. A lot of I think the majority of people believe in that, but this is one of those things where I think most people agree with, but the law lords won't have it. These people in their ivory towers making the laws won't have it. And I say, OK, old man, making these rules, let's wait until you're having your ass wiped for you, and not recreationally. They are conservatives, and I was making a comparison somehow between that and euthanasia. And moving on.
But you don't hear the other way around. You don't. Wasn't it a famous footballer? Was it Arsenal's footballer? One Arsenal footballer whose wife got
Ray Parlour.
Ray Parlour. Absolute fortune.
Yeah.
Now that man's been running his arse off for years and years and years, and she's been living the life of a wag, doing absolutely nothing. All right, yeah, technically she's brought up his children, but let's be honest,
which is a doddle.
They've gone to private school. They've probably gone to private school.
Yeah.
They've probably got a nanny. So technically she's actually done fuck all. But then now they're getting divorced because he's met somebody that's, you know, got a bit more in her, a bit younger. She's now entitled to half of his fortune.
I can't wait to see the day where they get both of you on Loose
Oh,
Women.
God, that's exactly what I was going to
guest.
say. I just envisaged Janet Street Porter. Right, Janet Street Porter. Listen to this. Right, just fucking an effigy of you, Mike McClean. Just fucking stabbing it, sticking pins in it.
But I don't care. You know, but she's done nothing. And she's now entitled to half of his...
But he knew that getting into it,
Yeah,
so that's his own fault.
Mm.
He could have very easily asked her to sign some sort of prenup agreement. He didn't do. He thought they were going to be together for life. He went into that knowing that, and then decided afterwards, actually, life's quite a long time. I want to bang someone younger. So really,
To be married to that one person throughout life.
You say knocking his pan in, like he was a footballer. He played football for a living. That doesn't seem all that hard if you love football.
You talking about that actually segues nicely into another topic, which is to cheat or not to cheat. Now, this obviously is a hotbed topic, isn't it? The question being, is monogamy a bit of a stretch too far for human beings? Felicity Kendall said, round about 23rd of March, apparently, that it's unrealistic.
She'd know, wouldn't she?
Well, has she? I don't know. Has she done a bit? Has she? I don't know. She's got a bit of form.
She's a proper slut.
Jesus Christ. Is that going to be usable?
Yeah. I'd just like to say this is the first and last episode of Slack Men.
Felicity, if you're listening to this, I was joking. I would. On a serious note, it's not the greatest thing in the world.
I just think, and let's forget this isn't. Let's not talk about whether it's men or women. I just think human beings naturally aren't meant to be monogamous. So what we do is, because we have morals and we have a respectable society sort of culture, that we try to be monogamous. But what I'm saying is we have to try to be monogamous rather than try not to be.
Okay, I think that it really all comes down to the person, because whenever you see people making the argument that you've just made now, it always seems to be a certain type of person that makes that comment, someone who can see beyond it, whereas the other people who make the counter argument to that, you'll always see someone who is very steadfast in their beliefs.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, my dad's been with my mum for, I think it's 50 years this year. He's suffered that disease, mongina. 50 years, and she's only ever slept with my dad, and my dad, well, he's not, he's slept with a few, but he's a bit of a tart. But my mum only ever slept with my dad 50 years.
That's
It
commendable.
does seem to be more of a male thing than a female thing.
I think, we've sort of skated around it, but I think
And is it an age thing, like because my dad's what, 80? So is it like of that generation where they were just with that one person, they fought through their problems, I remember being in a show rehearsing, my mum ringing me up going, I'm going to divorce your father, I'm putting the phone down, and my dad ringing me up going, I'm going to divorce
half your fortune.
yeah, and I'm like, oh no, he had nothing. And my dad ringing me up going, I'm going to divorce your mother, and you're thinking, Jesus. But then 2 or 3 days later, they seem to have got through it, and they're so. Whereas I think the youth of today, we're just like, oh fuck it, move on.
It's so much. I think social network. I'd love to know. There's a statistic somewhere, right, about infidelity and how much of that was due to a relationship started on social media. So my point being that if you're a bit fed up with your other half, where before social media and everything, you'd actually have to go out, wouldn't you? Maybe it would happen at work, but you'd have to actually make a heck of a lot of effort, even to begin to meet somebody.
Also, as well as it now being just a much smaller world where everybody's more connected and it is easier to find other people, and then therefore it's easier to cheat. But in days gone by, marriage and the sanctimony of it was just looked upon an awful lot more. Like people would have been disgusted at the idea of somebody being divorced. People just didn't get divorced. It was a taboo subject. You just didn't do it. Whereas now, it's just happening willy-nilly.
1 in 3. They reckon that 1 in 3.
It's expected almost. If you meet someone who's 40, you're almost surprised if they're not on
Hello.
You're almost surprised they're not on their second marriage.
1 in 3.
We've been quite flippant about this up to this point, but this is something that you are actually going through. So
Yeah.
I mean, this is something that is actually quite a big thing for you right now. So let's not.
But I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about
It's going to get pretty awkward.
Well, this will be admissible. I can see us in for the defence.
But you can't.
I'll be honest with you, you two be the last fuckers I'd have at court. Can you imagine? But you're going to go through that stage, aren't you, where you just think, oh. Like, I'm sure my dad, after 50 years of being with my mum, was going, oh, God, not again.
Well, of course they do, but everybody, like every man, as a man, you have to empty yourself, right? That is something that
You have to empty yourself.
For want of a better term.
You cannot argue with that. It's the old ball sack needs to be.
And the fact that when they're teaching science at school now to kids, it's like, okay, you're going to get to 40, don't forget, it's science, you will need to empty
yourself, children.
That is like, your ball bag is a bit like the cistern on the toilet. You empty it, it fills back up again, it needs to be empty. That's how it works. But that means that you have that drive, so you're always thinking about it, it's on your mind all the time. Whereas with women, the whole thing is completely different. So I don't know that you, as a woman, well, obviously some women are going to be more highly sexually driven than others, but as generally speaking here, I don't know if you would have the same drive as most men would all the time.
The girls were talking the other day about the economy, and this is true again. Apparently, a sure sign that the economy is on the up is the increased sales of, wait for it, premium toilet paper. Do you have? I mean, we're in your house, Mike. I've just been to your toilet.
Yeah.
Is it premium? It
is premium, yeah, and I hate buying premium toilet paper. What is the point of buying premium toilet paper?
What you have to bear in mind, though, is that we are in Mike's mansion here.
That's true, with his special fridge.
In the Essex countryside.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we're from much sort of more modest stock. I mean, I'm still wiping my arse on Isel.
You wipe your ass?
Well, yeah, once every other go.
No, I hate buying. I refuse to buy premium toilet paper, but she does.
Like, there's the medium.
Yes.
Yeah, because you don't want the really cheap stuff, because that rips the whole clean off you.
Yeah. No.
Or else you don't want your finger going
through
it.
Which is happening.
Whoa, you don't. I quite like that finger going through.
Generalisation.
Whoa. I don't mind the cheeky finger. What do you have in your house then, Gerry?
Probably in the middle, basically. Mine
do you know what you do? You find the aisle with the bottle on it, then you find the expensive ones made by Andrex or whatever, and then you look just next to that, there's always like a Tesco's or Sainsbury's own brand of that.
Or you go, I mean, listen to me, so my missus does the shopping anyway.
Newspaper?
And she goes Costco. She goes Costco, actually, and gets it in bulk. But it's medium, it's not, it's all right. Yeah, it's quite pleasant on the bottom.
Costco?
But you don't,
Gets it in
bulk. Well, it's me,
Jerry's conservative. Just built solely out of just blocks of bog room.
Exactly. But it's nice though. But I mean, I'd love it if I had money. If I was a wealthy man, I would actually always buy the very, very best toilet.
Why?
I don't know. It's just nice.
Just a waste of money.
It looks nice and it
a very
feels
delicate
nice.
ring piece. I'm a big advocate of baby wipes.
I'd like it. Yeah, I'm
you
with
can't
that.
use baby wipes down the toilet though.
You're not meant to put them down. You're not meant to
baby
flush
wipes,
them.
Who says this?
Yeah, you're meant to put them in a bin.
Because did you not see that blockage where it's on YouTube where everybody's put like a baby wipes and stuff, and it actually there's a massive blockage, and they have to blast it out. You look at it on YouTube. I can't remember the actual terminology of it, but it gets powered, and you have to blast it right out.
Where?
Look on YouTube.
Where?
And all the drains. Look at all the drains. Does it matter?
Unless I see visual evidence of this.
What you want to do is go to Japan and get those toilets where you sit down and you press a button and a little thing comes out, shoots water up your ass, and then a little block of air.
That's like the sound of
That's what
this.
you want to do next time you want to go to the toilet. Go to Japan. Go to Japan.
Well, I've made my own list.
Do you know what I'm pleased at? I'm genuinely pleased that you lads, right, are taking such concern over your bottom hygiene, because a friend of mine, Gerry, was on a dating site some time ago, and you'd be surprised at how many women put in their likes and dislikes men with dirty bottoms. Dislikes.
Why would you even...
Well, exactly. I thought, what? And I said to Gerry...
Yeah.
I said to Gerry...
He gets around that, lad.
Doesn't that out. Gary says, apparently, that he said to these women, what? And they say, yes, a lot of men, they go meet on a date, they end up having sex, and the men haven't got clean bottoms.
That's revolting. That's
disgusting,
something that I didn't want to have learned. Do you know what I mean? That's something that wasn't on the peripherals of my
amazed.
existence.
I'm amazed. I mean, you'd like you two, personally. I've got the old wet wipes in there.
Have a look now. Is that...
He's actually done it. He's actually pulled his pants down.
To go for a date with shite all around their hole.
Yeah,
See, but
exactly.
this just... You made fun of me before, as have many people, because I used to have an issue whereby every time I had a number 2, I would have a shower after.
That's right. I remember that.
Still still funny then, is it? Nice one.
It's not stopped being funny. I've just
Even
forgotten
though we've
about it.
just been through this, right? Even though we've just been
But
through
not a
it.
shower.
Why? But the
Just
thing
use a wet one.
But right, so my argument to this is that I have a bit of a hurry ring piece. Okay? Now, right, that's normal. I've tried that before. Actually, that's a different story. I'll come back to that in a second.
Oh yes, we will.
But first of all, if you have a hurry, or right, if someone took a shit in your hair, would you wipe that with a toilet
punch him in
tissue
the
and
face.
then just walk about the rest of your day? Of course you wouldn't. You'd have a shower. Of course you would.
Ryan, how
Yes.
hairy is your fucking
Pretty hairy, Mike. It is.
Shoot me under.
It is pretty hairy. I have.
What about when you're doing our job and you like go for a shit on the?
Well, I used to not.
The
I
fleet
used to have a real
services.
thing, so I didn't. I wouldn't go into any public toilet at all. Now, what I'll do is I will.
Only go where they've got a shower.
Well, no, I'll go to like a disabled toilet because then you have your own sink and you can fashion your own baby wipes out of toilet roll.
I'm not being funny.
You disgust me.
But we've all
It's
worked
about
with
cleanliness.
right, we've all worked with each other on several occasions.
Yeah.
From now on, I'm going to make sure I powder for him, but I give him a curry, give him anything that we
Those
need.
brand.
Right, boys. Let's. This is something I wanted to talk about. This is actually nothing to do with loose women. This is being a bit self-indulgent here. I think we're going to talk about football for a bit.
Good.
And well, I say we're going to talk about football. It's actually football dash racism. And not what you think. This isn't about Chelsea. This is this is about John Barnes, who in the last day or two apparently has complained that he's not getting work as a football manager because he's black. Now, I mean, I'm going to kick off by saying that I believe he's not getting a job as a football manager because he's shit. Over to you, boys.
As a proud black man, I would just like to say I'm a bit of a Celtic fan, and I remember John Barnes being in charge of Celtic, and he was atrocious. He will go down as being the probably worst Celtic manager, certainly in living memory. Anyway, he was awful. He presided over the defeat to Inverness Caledonian Thistle, who then in the second division he was awful. They had no redeemable qualities to him at all. If I remember rightly, it might have been a thing that all the players that he signed were black. It could be.
I seem to recall that because.
Well, I've got Wikipedia,
Yep.
and it says, and this is a managerial career. So it was at Newcastle, 1997 to 99.
It's 99. He was at Celtic.
Yeah, in 99 he went to Celtic. 99 to 2000, and then he sort of he went to manage the Jamaican national team, and then from there he went over to Tranmere Rovers. And he was sacked by Tranmere in 2009 after a series of poor results that saw the club make one of its poorest starts to a season in its history. So, Gerry, you're absolutely right. It's not because
It's not a great CV, is it?
No.
It's not a,
It's not like, okay, John. On what merits should you be hired?
Yeah.
So you can't have a
In
job
fact,
just because you're
I
black.
think he was hired. I don't know if this is inside information that I've got.
Yeah.
Right, but I heard that the manager of Tranmere was a big fan of World Emotion. And that is the reason, and got him to rap through the interview, and that's the reason he got the gig. You know, if he's shit at managing, I thought World Emotion was a great song.
To be fair, yeah, you know, he didn't do bad. I was shocked. I was surprised at how good he was.
Yeah.
To be fair. I think.
Not like
I
the
think
Anfield rap, is it?
rather not. Well,
I think that's another one he's trying to forget.
It's not so much as I think what he shouldn't be thinking is I didn't get the job because I'm black. I think it's the other way around. I think he should be thinking, oh, I've got an interview because I'm black and they want to fulfil a quota. Because actually, if they look at my record, I wouldn't even get a bloody interview. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You look at John Barnes' record, how did he even get through the door in the first place?
Well, yeah, that record was World Emotion. I just hate the fact that he's gone and played that card. You know, I hate that. Why? It shouldn't matter whether you're blue, black.
It should matter if you're blue. It should definitely matter if you're blue.
Yeah, that's
Well, you know,
You're probably choking on something.
Yeah.
Somebody with a Heimlich manoeuvre needs to get involved there.
Do you remember the first film or programme you watched that you became aroused by? I bring this up because I do, obviously.
Home and Away.
And it's just really Home
Yeah, I
and Away.
think so.
Because
Really?
mine was an Angie Dickinson film.
Yeah, mine was The Bitch.
Has it? Oh,
With
really?
Joan Collins.
Yeah, Joan
Yeah.
Collins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Angie, I always had, you may not remember. She used to be a thing. It'd been a thing called Policewoman.
Blonde woman.
Yeah, big in the 70s. Not big, quite small, but popular. And she was doing this thing where I think she seduced a young boy. Anyway, I remember clearly my foster mum had gone to bed. I was there, man. I'm watching this, and I just became aroused by this, and that was my first personal discovery, shall we say?
Yeah, mine
was to this film.
Mine was the bitch, John Collins.
And I was you can't call her that. She's
she's a nice
yeah.
lady.
Do you know what I mean?
She's just been knighted.
She's an institution, for Christ's sake, Mike. Come on.
But the bit where she invites the chauffeur in.
Oh yeah.
And she's got the hat on and everything. I remember watching that, thinking, "Whoa."
She was a foxy lady. Wasn't she
was.
back in the day?
Yours, Ryan?
I mean, you were probably quite. You're a bit younger, aren't you?
Anything off CBeebies?
Your similar icons are, I don't know, bloody Justin Bieber. Was he a girl? I don't know. I meant Miley Cyrus.
Okay. Miley Cyrus never. Although once I do remember walking through Leicester Square whenever what was it, Miley Cyrus alter ego called for the kids?
Oh yeah,
Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana.
And the premiere of that film was on. I think she must have only been like 15 or 16.
Careful.
They were handing out in like merchandise for free in Leicester Square while the premiere was on, and somebody handed me a packet of Hannah Montana man-sized tissues.
Which I'm sure they came in very handy.
This can't be right.
Oh
This is a piss take. Somebody
God.
has thought this through. And no, that was a picture of a 16-year-old girl on a packet of man-sized tissues. Yep.
Oh my,
Did you use them?
really.
Oh yeah, I mean you had to, didn't you? I mean,
It'd
there was
be
a picture on the
rude
front of them and everything.
It's like it's the kit. It's the kit. Yeah, it's 2/3 of the wanking kit. Right
See, this is the thing, right? Jerry's got this thing about a wanking kit. All right. Have you ever heard of one wanking kit?
Nope.
Explain, Jay.
A wanking kit is you got your
Why are you going red?
You got with my palms. You got the material, which might be, a few years ago it would have been a magazine, or then it would have been a
Grattan's
video,
card.
DVD. Now it only needs to be a phone, obviously. So there's your subject matter.
Okay.
You got your lubrication, obviously, which is your lubrication of choice. Yeah, it might be some petroleum jelly, obviously. If you're going to choose jelly, make it petroleum. That Roundtree strawberry doesn't
Make
work.
sure it is a petroleum jelly, though,
And
not just straight up for petrol.
Yeah, make sure those words are together. Neither work in isolation. Petroleum jelly or whatever's your poison.
Your poison.
And your subject matter and your Hannah Montanas. You've got those three things. That is your wanking kit. And do make sure, this is very important, lads, you must make sure you've got the tissue, the mopping up materials. No, because in the past, right, because what's happened, I remember one time in particular, I hadn't completed, I had 2/3 of the kit. So I had the phone, I had the Vaseline, I'd forgotten the mopping up. So it ended, I obviously came, basically, and I opened where the washing lives. I thought I'll just wipe up on some old underwear of mine. Do you know what I mean? I'll just do that. But my missus had done the wash, so the only clothes that were in there were my kids.
Oh God! Oh God! Don't tell me the rest of the story. Please.
But I didn't know. I didn't. I thought, oh my God! And do you know, suddenly my imagination started running wild. So I'll just wipe it on one of the girls' PE things, and I thought, oh no, I can't do that.
That made it even harder.
Because then my mind started, I'm thinking, oh my God, because something bad's going to happen one day, and then forensics are going to come in, and they're going to... They're going to test my kid, and it's going to have my stuff, and they're going to blame me, and they're going to say I'm a horrible person. And none of that is true.
A lot of stuff to run through your mind.
But by the time I
Instantly
finished,
as well.
it just dried up.
That is an insight into the psyche of Gerry Kay that I'd never wished to have ever seen before.
But I do like the idea of Boots selling a wanking kit.
Well, honestly, I've really enjoyed this inaugural episode of Slack Men.
It'll certainly be interesting to see how much of it can actually make the edit.
Yeah, so I think, yes, so for those of you out there who will be listening to the 2 minutes of this, please be happy in the knowledge it took us 6 hours.
It would be funny if we did get some form of legal document from John Barnes, his agent or manager.
Blue Swimming, John Barnes,
Joan Collins,
my dad,
Gary, my wife,
my dad,
Miley Cyrus.
Yes, Miley Cyrus, yeah, I think we're going to be in prison. Can we get jailed for this sort of thing? I don't know.
I think you can get petroleum jelly in prison, so you'll be fine.
What a great way to finish.